Okay guys, so today I'm going to cover the technicals, the fundamentals, what I'm expecting to play out, and how I'm going to play this. If you want to sign up to get access to these live charts, my website's pinned in the first comment and description. If you want to get into leverage trading, I'm using BitGet, love the platform. They show proof of reserves. If you want to use my link to sign up, it's pinned in on the first comment description as well. I am still in my short that I opened previous videos. I'm at a loss of $6,000. I'm going to hold on to this short. If price does push up, I will open a hedge. I'm going to cover that as well and show you where I'll open my second short. But I'm staying in my short because I believe we have more downside. So let's just cover these charts. Let's just go through this. So if you had been following me, this is a video I put up 2 weeks ago. I'll put a link up to it now. Basically, I was saying we cross this blue ring, get a pump. We could push up to this line, and the highest point I had here was 23,400. Depends when you make contact. So you long this ring, you short and hit this white line. So let's see how this played out. By the way, I put a link up this video now if you want to check it out. So this is the chart with the ring. I said, look, this is the start of the suckers rally when you cross this ring. As soon as you cross, expect a pump. I published this on December 26, 2022, and you can see what happened. We crossed that ring, we got one hell of a pump. So you had a point too long. So this here is a zoomed in version of this chart. We will come back to this in just a minute. Notice I have these bars patterns here. This is published on January 13th. This is when we were already pumping. I said, look, this is the point you're going to short at this white line. And I said this ring will also be support and resistance. We hit play, and you can see what happened. We came up, we got rejected. This is where I entered a short. I was $3,000 in profit. We came back down. I did not take my profit. I could have set my stop loss just below my entry to break even. I decided to stay in case there was a scam wick to come up and try to stop me out, but it kept pushing up. Now, I was wrong. I did not think we would get above this white line, but I need to show you some other things, and this is why I'm staying in my short. If I thought that there was a lot more upside, I would not stay in a short at a $6,000 loss. So we will come back to this chart. This is the same chart zoomed in, and this just gives you kind of more up close and personal of the targets and what I was expecting. So we'd already pumped when we crossed that ring, right? And I said this is the point you would short. This is the point you would long. Green means long, red means short. So see, we're going to get topped out at this point. Come back down. I did expect us to keep getting rejected at this white line. We did push above, so I'm going to hit play on this. So you can see that's what happened. We got rejected, right? We opened our short. We longed from down here. We opened our short here. We came back down. Price pushed back up above this blue ring. And if you zoom in on this on the smaller time frame, we got rejected at this white guideline one more time, and then price just shot straight up. Now, we'll tell you this, if you think we've started a bull run, that's fine. You can buy in, go long. I do not believe we're in a bull run. I still think this is a suckers rally. That's what I've been talking about for the past month. But we did push above this point, and we're going to cover this chart. I'm going to zoom out and show you how I think this is playing out. So you'll notice right here I have, so these are the guidelines I've been talking about, but you notice I have this line yellow, and I had this line yellow now as well. So if you'll notice back here, we did push above this. We did get a perfect rejection at this point. Notice we got rejected here. We dropped down about a little over almost 16%, and then we pushed back above this by about 12%. You notice this line, it was a perfect rejection every time. Hit it, rejected, hit it, rejected, hit it, rejected. We hit it again, got rejected, pushed above it a bit, got rejected, and then it became support. So I think it's possible that this line here is playing out like this one. So let me zoom in over here. So far, my prediction was we would get a pump. So far I was correct up until this point. So I called about a almost a 32% pump. Now I did expect us to get rejected here and continue down. That did not happen. But this is where this is kind of where psychology comes into play. We're going to cover the fundamentals as well as the technicals. But keep in mind, exchanges, when everybody is short. So I think at this point, a lot of people were short. We just got one hell of a pump. We tested a previous high. People were expecting this to drop. Everybody was shorting. And we'll cover this in just a bit in detail. But if everybody's shorting and the price drops, exchanges have to pay out on these shorts. It's in their best interest to send the price up to liquidate these shorts, get people bullish, get longs to stack, then they send it back down and liquidate all of those longs. And I do believe that is coming soon. So yes, I was wrong about pushing above this point, but guys, that is why I use a stop loss. The way I should have played this was when we got rejected at this point, I was in $3,000 profit. I could have either taken my profit but I did expect more downside. That's why I did not take my profit, or just set my stop loss just below my entry, so if it goes higher, I lose nothing. That is the way I should have played it, but I still believe we're coming down, so that's why I'm still in. This here, guys, this is the P1 chart, and this is where the technicals come into play. So while the price is pushing up and it does look bullish, we still have two hurdles to get above. We have this macro trend line, right, where we topped out up here around, what, 67,000. Then we made contact here around 48,000. Keep in mind, this is where I told everybody to short on this chart right here. This is where we made contact with this line, and I said to short. We shorted this point all the way down. So this is our macro trend line, right, of resistance. We just tested it again. So before we can get bullish, we need to get above right now. So we need to get above 23,100. You get above that, okay, well, now we're bullish up to the 300-week moving average. I think a lot of people expect us to test that point. And this also will play into where when I'll open a hedge. If we get above this point right here, again, this is, I'll show you another chart in detail, but if we get above 23,100, I will open a hedge along up to the 300-week moving, I'm sorry, the 200-week moving average, this yellow line moving average right here, which is right around close to 25,000. I think that's where a lot of people think we're headed. And if we get above this point, that's probably where we are headed. That's why I'll open a hedge. And then I will close my long when we get to the 200-week moving average, and then open a second short, because I believe this is nothing more than a sucker's rally. It pushed up higher than I expected, but it's still a sucker's rally as far as I'm concerned. So let's cover a few more things, guys. So the DXY, you can see how much the dollar has come down. I think the dollar will find support soon and start pushing back up. I think the markets are pretty much topped out, and then we'll cover the fundamentals as well. But I just want to show you this chart zoomed out. This is on the daily. You can see this line right here. This line is going to be, these are fib channels. I've got them marked off with white lines. This is a lot of support. You've got the white line below at 100.21 and down here around 99.66. So I believe the dollar soon will find support. It could push up from here. We could test 101, but there is a lot of support down here where I'm expecting the dollar to find support and push back up. If the dollar is coming down, Bitcoin's going to push up. If you start seeing the dollar push up, Bitcoin's going to come down. So I think soon the DXY is going to find support and push up. The Dow Jones, this is the same with the NASDAQ and the S&P. Now people say, well, Bitcoin's pushing up. We already tested, down about 15,000, 16,000. We're pushing up. This is the start of the bull run. I cannot get bullish because, first of all, for us to get bullish, the indices need to push above their previous high. You have this macro trend line of resistance when the Dow topped out here around 36,800. We got rejected here again, 34,500. And your current resistance, you see, got rejected here at 34,245. So before we can get bullish with the markets, we need to break above this trend line. So it's possible we could push up to this, and if that happens, maybe that's why Bitcoin could push up to the 200-week moving average. But everything seems bearish, and the reason for this, even if price is pushing up and people are getting bullish, there's no more quantitative easing. Now it's quantitative tightening. No more free money. The Fed is not printing any more free money. That's going to be bad for markets. The Fed is raising interest rates. Now, they're not going to raise it as much, but that's less important is the fact that they're not going to pivot until 2024. The Fed made it very clear. For the rest of 2023, they're not going to lower interest rates. And there's a lag effect for all of this to take place, not to mention, I know if you haven't noticed, a lot of these huge corporations are laying off tens of thousands of employees. Amazon, Google, even Coinbase is laying off more people. They're starting to feel the pressure of this quantitative tightening and raising of interest rates. A lot of companies are doing really bad. These big companies, they're having to lay off people to stay ahead, and a lot of people losing their jobs. Again, there's a lot of stuff taking place right now. That's why I'm still bearish, and that's why I believe this is a bull trap. Yes, we pushed up a little higher than I expected, but this has not changed, all right? The Fed has not pivoted. They're not printing for more free money. They're not coming to save us. At some point, this is going to top out. The Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P is going to start coming down. When that happens, the DXY is going to start pushing up. And guys, I'm telling you, I still believe that this chart is in play. Now, while yes, we did push above it, right? We pushed above this by how much? We pushed above the point I said we top out. So far, we're up, what, 6.5%? It's not that much. So let's go back to this chart that I said we would come back to, right? So yeah, I'm at a $6,000 loss in my short. Some would say, oh, I got wrecked. Well, I'm not closing my short. And if we're just above this white line, and I'm at a loss of $6,000, once we come back down below this white line, I'll be in profit, right? Well, if this plays out the way I'm expecting, all right, if I'm at a $6,000 loss with this, just this much above this white line, well, if this plays out the way I'm expecting it to play out, look how far down we have to come. Yeah, we pushed above it a bit. That's happened previously. But look at that drop. At 30x, $3,000, if we come down this much, that is going to be one hell of a short and one hell of a payday. That's why I'm holding my short. That's why I will continue to hold this short. If we go higher, I will hedge with the long and then add to my short because I still believe we're coming down to this target. The fundamentals, the technicals, it's still bearish. So I believe this is where we're headed. This is just a sucker's rally, guys. It's one epic bull trap to get people bullish to think the bottom's in and we're going higher. And again, I've showed you zoomed out. You know, I was very confident that we would get rejected at this point, that we would not get above this line again until Bitcoin had bottomed. Well, if we continue higher and we get above the 200-week moving average, then maybe I was wrong, we'll continue higher. But until that happens, I still think it's very possible what played out back here in, well, this was October 2021 through November 2021. I think this is what's playing out. And we got rejected. We know that this line's in play. As soon as we broke above this line, we shot straight up. Same thing happened here. Rejected, pushed above it, and then we kind of just rode down this line. So it's very possible we come back down below this line, right? Or we just ride down it, but I think more likely how this is going to play out is exactly how I showed you on this chart here. I think we're going to come back down below this point as resistance and then continue our plunge to put in our bottom. That is what I believe will play out. That's why I'm holding my short. Again, I would not stay in a losing trade if I thought we started a bull run and we're going much higher. But again, guys, if you want to sign up for Big Get, guys, my link's pinned in the first comment description. If you want to sign up for the charts, the website's pinned in the comment description as well. So let me show you two other charts really quick, guys. So this was a post I made in Discord. Guys, it's not hard to find points to long and short. If you're scalp trading, you can do it all day long and make money. This right here, I said, this was posted this morning, 7:56. Said current resistance levels I'm watching. So I said, look, your resistance right now to get rejected, 23,100. I'll show you how I found that point. And I had this chart that already showed 23,000. Well, if you'll notice, and this is how it played out, see 23,083, we hit that point and we dropped. Just showed right here, this yellow line. We hit it and we got rejected. And let me show you a simple way I found that line. It's pretty straightforward. So I already mapped out the direction of price, right? So all I did was draw a line. See how well price is respecting this fib channel line right here, this purple one? All I did was draw a parallel line matching that fib channel line, right? And then just pulled it up to our top wick over here, right? And that's how I got this point where we got rejected. Same thing, take a line, right, that matches this. We know price respecting the angle of this fib channel, and you bring it down to the bottom wick. So that gives you a support level down here around potentially 22,174. So again, I help you find points again in and out. You can scalp all day long, but I'm looking for the big play, the big drop, and I think that is coming very soon. And if you'll notice right back here, I also mentioned this chart as well on the H1 chart. This has been a very key support resistance level on the H1 chart, and you can see how this played out. We pushed above it, got a crazy wick above, and then right back down below it. So your key resistance now is 22,956. Up to 23,000. Your next support is 22,438. And just like I said, 23,158. And again, if we get above, all right, so this is your resistance to watch. If we get above 23,127, all right, and this becomes support, this is when I will open my long, all right, my hedge up to, where's this chart? Up to right here. Let me give you a price label for this, to the 200-week moving average, because I think that would be the highest we would go. And on my charts, red means short and green means long. So if we get above, a lot of charts are showing this, we get our macro trend line resistance, 23,100. We get above that, it's very possible we could push up to the 200 week. At this point, I will close my hedge long. I will open a second short and ride this down, because I believe ultimately we are headed down. Well, I have it on this chart here. Ultimately, we're headed down to this point, and that is where I will buy in and hodl. So guys, I hope that explains to you what I'm expecting. And again, I just want to tell you this one more time. Nothing's ever 100%. Just going by this chart, it made sense. We would get rejected and come down. Get rejected and come down. Now this line we did push above it. So if you are opening a short or opening a long, guys, use a stop loss. Just tell yourself, I'm only willing to lose this much. Set your stop loss and just eat it. If it hits your stop, you're out. Now, I kept raising my stop loss and raising my stop loss. That's not a good way to trade. The only reason I'm doing it is because I do believe that this is going to top out soon and come crashing down. But again, guys, if you want to sign up for Big Get, my link's pinned in the first comment description and get access to these charts. The website is opticalartcrypto.com. Link's pinned in the first comment description as well. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.